Hello YouTube, this is Jessica from STEM APKs. Welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to continue where we left off in the last tutorial. As you remember, in the last tutorial, we were applying artificial intelligence on YouTube videos using the Google YouTube Data API. And I was showing you how to use the API, but use it smartly because, like I said, you have a quota. And it's very easy to exceed that quota. In the last video, I didn't get into detail about using the parameters. I skipped. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing the parameters, the run parameters that I use in order to keep me from exceeding my quota. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is my Google Cloud Console. You can go to Google Cloud, and it's very easy to run to exceed your quota because the requests, you only have so many requests per day, and if you run out, you have to wait till they reset it, and they reset it every 24 hours. So if you're running a lot of data, a lot of queries, it's very easy to be out of your quota in the first 2-3 hours if you don't watch it. And that's why I'm going back and making sure that you know what those run parameters are. So in order to do that, as you remember, we're running artificial intelligence on real estate videos based in this tourist area in the Dominican Republic. And we're looking at the content, and we're applying artificial intelligence. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch my first couple videos where I go in detail on this website that I created, and we're able to run the audio, run the transcript, and apply artificial intelligence on it. So we keep building this platform. Let me show you the code now. This is the code. We went over this in the last tutorial, but I did not get into the main entry point and what's going on under the hood. I want to show you. Let's go and show you this one first, because there are two classes in this code. There's the quota manager class. This is the class that handles anything that has to do with managing your quota. So as you can see, it will know what the quota file is, whether it exceeds the quota, resets, and it load the quota status. Every time this is where all is handled. The quota manager is the load quota status, the save quota status, check quota reset, and then handle the quota once exceeded, right? And is it available? Because before it will run anything, it will first check to make sure that you have any quota available and how much. So that way, the way we did it, as you remember from my last video, it will try to make sure that you don't crash the program, and it just lets you know before, so you don't crash while it's doing the research. That's the first class, the quota manager class. And then we have this one, the Unified YouTube Market Analyzer class. This is where it does everything. It does the mock code. It handles anything if you're using mock data. It handles the filtering to make sure that you get rid of stuff that you don't want. It handles the video data. And it handles, it interacts with the other class, the quota manager class. And this is where it's all happening. It gets the mock data. This is the data that we created when your quota is exceeded, so you have something to work with, so you don't stop working, you keep testing, but using mock data. And this is some of the stuff that I created. I showed you that in the last video. And also the queries, search the videos using mock data. But the most important thing that I wanted to show you, because this is at the end here, this is all the plotting, and this is where all of the filtering is taking place. the filtering, get quota status, more filtering, but the one is here because here's the main function, the entry point, not the demo, but I'll show you the demo in 1 second. But this is, it will determine here when you're running on demo mode, when you're running on mock mode, or if you're not running on demo, you're not running on mock, there's an elif here that is actually using your quota. So anything here, you're using your quota. So these are the things that you need to keep track. And like I said, this is what I was mentioning before, is the quota available, what's the status of your quota, and all of that. Okay, and this is where that is happening. And the reason I'm showing you this, because now we're going to go into the Pi code in the demo, enhanced demo Pi code, that is the main entry point, and it's going to be using all of this. So this is, I didn't go in detail in the last tutorial. That's why I'm going back and making sure that you're familiar where that is happening. Now I'm going to show you the enhanced demo Pi, and we went over last time. It has all the arguments. It's whether it's the analyzer, whether it's the what type of mode you're using, the market configurations, is whether it's using these are the queries. We went over that in the last 2 tutorials. What location, you can change the location, whatever country you're working. I'm not working with Punta Cana and Bavaro, but you can do anything you want. It can be in anything. So right now, this is the main one, but I'm also have something to compare with. I added US, Florida, the Miami property market, the trends and all that. And you can change that, like I said. And I also, for Europe, I have, I chose Lisbon, Portugal. And this is where it's all happening. You can apply overrides if you want. But the main one, because this is, I'm going to be showing you, we're going to run them together just now, are these guys. These are all the parsing for when you use the parameters. So you have here, as you can see, the mock argument, the quote argument, live argument, and you're going to see me doing it. And this is where that is happening, so you know where it is. For each one of the options, these are, for example, these are for the market specification, for the filtering options, output options, where you want to save this stuff. Do you want timestamp or not? Do you want quiet or you want verbose? All of that is happening there for the output. This is where you are able to control the analysis, how deep you want to go. Do you want to go light? And remember, when you're using light analysis and deep analysis, this is what it's your quota right there. When you do a light analysis, you're only analyzing 5 to 10 videos per query. When you are using deep dive, you're using between 30 to 50 videos per query. Remember that. You can determine how many videos you can create a max for a video limit. And also you can limit the amount of queries, how many you want. The more queries, the more units of your quota, right? Here are the more advanced options: debug, dry run, profile, config. This is going to, you can change the configuration in this file right here. You're able to you know, determine what the sentiment weights. This is where all of that stuff is being done on your config file. And all of that is done here. Your API key, are you going to override, all of that stuff is there. You can change the region of interest thresholds and all of that stuff, the sentiment analysis that is happening under the hood. And that is it. And now this is the main function here, the entry point, and let's test it. So I just made myself these so I can just copy and paste. It's nice and easy. But before I show you, this is the queries, just in case you didn't watch my last tutorial. This is how the breakdown of what's going on under the hood. One search is about 100 units. So if you do 3 searches, it's going to eat about 300 of your units. I think you're getting, I believe it's 10,000 units per day. So remember that. So if you did 3 searches times 100, that's 300 units. For the video details, we went over that in the last tutorial, how many you're eating there and how many you're eating there. So more or less, it's gonna take, every time we do one of these ones that I'm using, of course yours might be different depending on what you're doing, but in my case it's eating about 390 units every time. That's I came up with that calculation by going with the units that I have available. So let's say that I use one, that's what I have for the rest of the day. So you always have to keep track. So I know that I can only run it about 25 times before I hit my limit. So that's how I calculated it in my case. So these are the parameters. The first thing you want to do is, let's just copy and paste, make it easy. Let's be lazy. Just copy, open a, let me just clear this. Make it a little bit bigger so you can see better. And let's just paste. And what this is doing is gonna let me know what the status is of my quota. So every time you copy and paste it only does one, so you gotta add it. So let's do verbose, and it's going to tell me that it's gonna check the status. It tells me that yes, my quota has been reset, so I'm good to go. And it tells me that I can go live or quota mode. And if you watch my last tutorial, you know what I'm talking about here. Is my API key good? Yes. Output directory, it tells me where I'm gonna be saving this stuff. So it's gonna be going, because I can go to, it's going into that directory right there. So it's gonna go here. And if you watch my last tutorial, you recognize these files. And is how many markets? In my case, we're dealing with 5. I think it's Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, Florida, Lisbon, and then there's 2 other stuff there. What dependencies are available and all of that. So that's what that does. It shows the quota status, API health, and dependencies. So now if I run the second command, this is going to be using mock data, just in case you exceeded your quota. I just want to show you what that does. Then copy. Let's just paste. And let's go back here because it only does 1, so 2 timestamp files. Hope it works. And there it goes. So this is what's happening here. It lets you know that it's running mock mode. It's telling you welcome to this, all of that stuff is mock mode. It's analyzing the stuff that we created. And if you remember, we created for Punta Cana, and then we also created here for videos analyzed for, but this is all mock data. I'm gonna show you good data in 1 second. So now, once I close this, it's going to do the saving, and you're gonna see it pop. Let me just show you here so you can see it. So now when I close this, you're going to see it, that is going to populate. And watch it, there it goes, and there it goes. It created this file and it created that file. And it's a JSON and CSV. You can change the formats. And here it lets me know where it was saved. It saved JSON on the output, the name of the file, and it also shows me that it's saved CSV and the name of the file. And those are the two files right there, CSV, JSON. Okay, so that's running that command. And if you want to look, you know what they are. You watch my last tutorial, you know what those files contain. Now if we run this one, this is still using mock data and it's saving into the output, but it's, sorry, it's not using, I'm changing the overriding the output, and now I'm using this directory. That's in case I want to show you, if you want to create different directories, this is how you would do it. So you copy and paste, clear this not to confuse you, and then copy and paste. And now if I run this one, it's going to create this directory right here. It's going to go into this directory right there. Right now it's got 3 items, and you're gonna see that it's going to add. So let's do that one, hit enter, and now same thing, it did still mock data. We close it and you see that it was saved. So now if we check that directory, analysis results, I guess it just replaced whatever it was there. I think it overwrote whether it was there already. So that's, it created an SLS Excel file. As you can see, it's got all the stuff that we added, and it's got the other stuff from let's do that one again because I don't want to confuse you. So let's add the other command. For now, let me just erase those. Desktop, business, YouTube analyzer, analysis results, and let's just move to trash, not to confuse you. Now let's do Python. Let's do that one. That one is going to complain. Copy, paste, clear. And now it didn't like that one, verbose again. And let me just explain what was happening here. Here it's going to run the same code, still mock data, but it's going to, this is, you choose the market. So it's going to do the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, US, Florida, and European, Portugal. I don't think I have anything for Portugal, so it's not gonna, it might not give me anything, but I just want to show you. Remember, it's still mock data. And now it still didn't work. Yeah, because Portugal don't recognize arguments. That space doesn't like that space there. Let's try again. And now it works. And like I said, it gives you the market, and it saved to, where did it save it? JSON output. So it went to output. So if we're looking output, there it is. So that's the last one. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to use real data now. Now we're going to go into, instead of using mock data, I'm going to use Quota. So this is going to eat some of my quota. So I just want to show you, I'm maxing 2 queries to 2 videos, to 2 queries, sorry, and then I'm keeping it light. If you remember, that's only 5 to 10 videos. So it's deep dive or light. This is what it is. So now when I copy and paste, and clear. This is real. And as you can see, it's telling you welcome to Quota management. It's telling you that this is real. It's managing your quota. It's analyzing one market because that's what I chose. I just chose Punta Cana. It's doing, these are the target locations: Punta Cana, Cap Cana, and Bavaro. Excuse me. It's doing these are the search queries that I'm using. I'm using in real estate investment and property market for 2024. The first query out of two, 1 out of 2, is processing the first query. Found 5 videos. These are the videos that it found. It's doing, that's the name of the first video, the title of the second video, third video, and so on. Query 2, the second query, is processing this one, which is that one right there. So it found 5 videos, and I'm going to show you the videos. It's going to, these are the titles for those videos. And then it's going to do a full analysis for those 2 queries. And it's going to do all of that stuff that we went over in my last tutorials. It's going to give you an opportunity score, which is this one right here. It's 87.8, and it's going to compare it, and it's going to give you a sentiment score. Right now I only have 1 because I didn't want to use a lot, but you can have as many as you want here. You can have 4 or 5 different markets, and you can go really crazy with this stuff. And that's what it's doing there. And now it's saved the JSON with the smart filter. So we go to output and we look at what is there now, and he's saved this one. I think that's the one, Dominican Republic, enhanced quota. This one right here. No, yeah, I think that's the one. And we open it using cursor, and it's going to give you, and as you remember, if you watch my last tutorial, Noah Kagan was there and all of that stuff. It got rid of all of that because now it's filtering. So it has Juan Briseño, Jamie Gruber. It's got, if you need a lawyer, it needs all of that stuff. This is real. This is coming right from YouTube, and it's doing all of this stuff. And like I said, you can really get these to do all kinds of things. I'm gonna put the code on my GitHub. You can check it out. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to take these to a step further, and we're gonna start using, I'm creating an MCP server for these that does some of the same things that I did here in my website, but instead of using this intelligence here, I'm using MCP and doing it with the LLM, and I will be showing you how to do that. But we will do that in the next tutorial. This is the end of this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time with another tutorial. Take care.